Scoot Henderson is finally hitting threes, and a familiar face returns to the Blazers G League team. It's also about time we talk about the Rip City remix, so thank you for joining Blazers Uprise News. The latest addition to the Portland Trail Blazers lineup is goggles on Scoot Henderson, and apparently they're working, because it's only been 3 games since Scoot Henderson came back from his ankle injury, and in the last 2 matchups, he has 5 threes. He was 2 for 24 before that, but has gone 5 for 7 since then. Could it be the goggles? I don't know. Do you think so? Let me know in the comment section. But regardless, it's a really good sign to see Scoot Henderson start to knock down threes, as I've talked all season long on post-game shows about how that will open up the rest of his game. On a lot of these threes, you could see the disrespect that the defense was giving Scoot Henderson, where they wouldn't even step out and contest his shot, or they would go under pick and rolls. It's really hard to drive and make plays when you're being defended like this, so the first step for Scoot is to get that defender out on him, to get the defender to respect his jump shot. And he's making some solid progress, and it's good to see. Now, I thought his form, when I slowed it down recently, looked slightly different than it did the start of the year. So I'll toss up a couple side-by-sides on the screen right now. I've always thought his shot was a little too compact and had a little too much tension because of it, and I thought his wrist was a little too flat at his set point. Recently, it's looked a little less tense, and I'm curious if the Blazers maybe tweaked his form while he was out with that ankle injury, considering he could still shoot the ball. Or maybe this is Scoot just finally finding comfort and confidence at the NBA level, or maybe it is the goggles. I'm not sure. Regardless, hopefully Scoot can keep up this 3-point shooting, because there was a point there he was sitting at 8% from behind the arc and it looked dismal. But now he's up to 22.6%. So if that can keep going up, I mean, all of a sudden he looks a lot better. 13 points, 2 games in a row where he's playing less minutes than he did at the start of the season is definitely a good thing. I would love to see the Blazers ramp up his minutes, especially when he's playing this well, to see if he can have a 20 piece, to see if he can have a game where he can consistently score the ball from beginning to end, and what that might do for his confidence. Now, Scoot Henderson had a ton of confidence coming into the league. However, it's tough to keep that when you're performing the way he did over his first 5 games of his career. Regardless, this is good to see from Scoot Henderson and extremely exciting. But before we talk about a familiar face returning to Portland, this video is sponsored by Game Time Tickets. Back in my day, I used to pull out all the stops to try and find the best deals on tickets for Blazer games. A lot of times I would just show up to the stadium 15 minutes before the game, get in line, and then while in line, buy tickets on my phone. Now that is risky and stressful, so I don't advise it. What I do advise is using Game Time Tickets, because they got you covered with good deals all the time. Game Time is a ticket service that tries to take the stress out of buying tickets. It's a beautiful app that makes it fast and easy to buy tickets to any event you want. And the best thing I love about Game Time is they don't try and trick you. They try to take all the guesswork out of buying tickets. They show you the views from your seat, they have all-in pricing, and you also don't have to wonder if you can find a better deal elsewhere because of the Game Time guarantee. Because if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. That's how you know you're getting the best deal with Game Time tickets. They also have their exclusive flash deals, which allows you to find discounts on tickets within their app with one single swipe. And with the Blazers having a bunch of home games coming up in December, as well as Blazer tickets being a great gift to give at Christmas, why don't you take the guesswork out of buying tickets? All you have to do is download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code UPRISE for a $20 discount off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code UPRISE. That's UPRISE for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. So now I am back to having one jersey for a player that's in the Portland Trail Blazers organization. So that's pretty cool. That's right, Maurice Harkless is back with the Portland Trail Blazers, but he's on the G League team. He's on the Rip City remix. This just creates another reason to watch the Rip City remix this year. It's nice having a new G League team for the Portland Trail Blazers, especially right here in Portland where it's easy to go watch games. But now you get to watch an old starter who is a key part of the Blazers making a Western Conference Finals run. What's crazy is Maurice Harkless is still only 30 years old. He last played in the NBA in 2022 when he played for the Sacramento Kings. He shot 46% from the field, 31% from 3, averaging 5 25 points per game in 18 minutes. Now, unless you started watching the Blazers in the past 4 or 5 years, we know who Maurice Harkless is as a player. He's a guy that can post up smaller guards, finish on the interior, and will occasionally knock down the three, but has always had some inconsistencies from there. And then on the defensive end, he's a really good, versatile, well-rounded defender who can guard 4 positions, and that's a big reason why the Blazers were able to put together a good enough defense to make the Western Conference Finals with the backcourt consisting of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. It'll be interesting to see how Harkless's game looks now compared to when he started for the Blazers. Obviously, he's fallen off a little bit considering he's not in the NBA anymore, so I'm curious to see just where his game is considering I haven't seen anything of him the past couple of years. Since we're on the topic of the remix, let's take a look at some seasonal stats for players that have been playing for him. My guy Malachi Smith, the former Gonzaga Bulldog, is the leading scorer outside of Uprise, who only played 1 game. Smith is averaging 18 points per game, however, he's not doing it too efficiently. 41% from the field, 28% from 3. He is getting 7 rebounds and 4.5 assists, though. He has the makings of a G League guard that maybe gets a chance or 2 in the NBA someday. Jamari Bouye and Moses Brown have played in 2 games for the remix. Bouye's gone. The Blazers have waived him off that 2-way contract once they started to get guards healthier, so he won't be a part of the remix going forward. And Moses Brown is an interesting case because he's on a main roster contract, but he's behind Uprise, who's on a 2-way contract. So it'll be interesting to see if the Blazers maybe cut Moses Brown at some point, especially when the trade deadline rolls around. He's averaging 14.5 points per game and 12.5 rebounds in his 2 games in the G League. But a couple other notable performances. Ryan Rupert has played in 8 games for the remix. He's averaging 33 minutes a game, averaging 14.5 points. He's shooting 44% from the field, but 45% from 3, including a recent game where he went 5 for 9 from 3, including a clutch 3 late. That's the key for Rupert, is being able to develop that 3-point shot. He has a lot of length and agility and moves well and can handle the ball a little bit and projects as a really good defensive player in the league, but he has to learn how to read the game. He has to learn how to finish around the rim. He has to develop his body, and he has to develop that 3-point shot. But with that 3-point shot falling in the G League, that's a good sign for sure. Rupert's also averaging 6.5 boards and 2.3 assists. And then you got Chris Murray, who in 4 G League games is averaging 13 points per game in 32 minutes, shooting 31% from the field and 30% from 3. I'm still not fond of what the Blazers did with the 23rd pick in last year's draft, and Chris Murray, even in the G League, still isn't impressing me. He needs to play better than this. It's funny how he was considered an NBA-ready prospect coming into the league, but based on his 4 games in the G League, he's not even ready for the G League because 31% from the field, 30% from 3 is just not good. Hopefully he can improve and play better than he's playing right now. Those are all the notable stat lines from players on the Rip City remix, and that's going to wrap up this video. Let me know what you think of anything I talked about in this video. Thank you for watching it. Also, remember that promo code UPRISE for $20 off your first Game Time Tickets purchase. With that being said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you next time. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.